16. Lest there be any fornicator.
That's right, a fornicator. Fornication could mean two things. It could mean sexual, it could mean spiritually. But with this, in this instance, it's both. Because Esau is a fornicator sexually, and he's a fornicator spiritually, going through all kinds of doctrines, all kinds of philosophies and bullshit, and not taking up the law, statutes, and commandments because he was born the wicked. Go on.
Lest there be any fornicator or profane person.
Yeah, profane meaning outside of the temple. Nothing the so-called white man does is according to the scriptures. Everything he does is contrary to the scriptures. Keep going.
As Esau,
which is the progenitor of the so-called white man, which they're not white. They're really, the Most High doesn't deal with races. The term and philosophy of race is a new thing in the earth. I believe it's only, what, 500, 400 years old? What the Most High deals with is nations. So it's Esau is the progenitor of the nation of Edom. Because it's all through the spirit, it's all about man's spirit or person's spirit to determine if they're part of this sign. They could be as white as Casper or powder, and they can still be an Israelite. Or you could be as black as Wesley Snipes, and you could still be an Edomite, because it's based upon the seed of your father. Can you give me that real quick? Hold that, but go back to it. Give me Romans 8:16 real quick. Because the Spirit bear witness with us on this side that we're the children of Israel. Because as it says in the scriptures, there was tares sown amongst the wheat, meaning that during slavery and during when they conquered the land of South America and Central America, they went on to our women and produced tares, produced Edomite babies that look like Israelites. Keep going.
Romans 18 and 16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High.
That's right. That's why we got to base things upon the spirit, not the appearance. So one of the main things to determine what nation you are is, the first question is if you believe in the Most High. And through the Spirit, we put people through the test. We asked a man that looked like an Edomite, and he says no, he doesn't believe. We asked somebody that was obviously an Israelite, and they said yes, because Israelites have the zeal according to knowledge. But I mean, Salakia, they have the zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. That's the reason why amongst the Edomite nation, the so-called white man, that's where it's prevalent that there's a lot of atheists, because they don't believe in the Most High, because the scriptures say they think they are the Most High. Go on.
Hebrews 12 and 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
Yeah, for one morsel of meat, meaning he really didn't have no faith, man. In the scriptures it says, the Lord will feed 1,000 sparrows. I mean, Salakia, that a man is worth more than 1,000 sparrows. So how would he not feed one of his sons, one of his children? Not quoting it verbatim, you know, paraphrasing. So this dude Esau never had no faith. That's the reason why he sold his birthright to his brother Jacob, which meant supplanter. Therefore Jacob, the people on this sign, because Jacob's name was later changed into Israel, which means he is the prince of the power, or he's the son of the Most High. And now the Israelites have the kingdom of heaven, as Esau's kingdom, which we're in right now, is finna be destroyed by thermonuclear weapons in World War III.
That's right. For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing.
That's right. Now blessing was the kingdom of heaven, which the people on this side is finna obtain once this land is destroyed via thermonuclear weapons. During World War III, it's already kicked off right now. It just needs to change gears by the so-called Jews, the land of Israel, to go attack Iran to speed these things up.
He was rejected, for he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears.
That's right. And that's what that's the thing that these so-called white people, these Edomites do. They cry a lot. They cry about everything. They cried about the so-called 9/11. They never let that go. If you're a so-called black man, you're not going to escape from anything, because they're going to cry about it. If you go onto these websites and look at these so-called white people's comments that they comment and talking shit, these crackers cry about everything, man. And it's all biblical, because it says that they're going to do that in the scriptures. Keep going.
For ye are not come unto the mount that might be touched, and that burned with fire, nor unto blackness and darkness and tempest.
That's it, man. That's right. Can you give me James Bob again?
James 5:1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you.
That's right. What's the main misery, man? Matter of fact, give me Amos 9:8, and then hold Jeremiah 15:1. Because we're going to tell you the miseries. Before you get that, give me Job 9:24. We're going to tell you the miseries that's going to come upon this place, America, that's already come upon this place, America. And just for further edification, we're going to back it up with some news articles, the news that you people refuse to even watch or read. Because you people don't watch the news and you don't read nothing. That's the reason why they always said the easiest place to hide something from somebody is in a book. And that's exactly what the so-called white man did. He hid your identity and kept you away from the Holy Scriptures. He took the Holy Scriptures away from the Native American man, the sacred book. They refused to let the Negro man, the house of Judah, and the house of Benjamin, and the half house of Levi from reading the book during slavery, while we were on the plantation singing songs, Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, come to carry me home, because we knew, our people knew, that the chariots are the so-called UFOs. That's the reason why the so-called white man makes a big deal about a so-called alien invasion, saying they're going to kill everybody. No, they're not going to kill everybody. He's going to deliver the people that listen to the prophets that was positioned across the four corners of the world, preaching the gospel in its truth and sincerity, warning you of the day that's going to come that's going to burn like an oven. We're set up to prophesy. We're not set up in no churches with no rings and gold and no Mercedes-Benz, driving around trying to pop everybody's woman, being adulterers. We're not them type of prophets. Give me Jeremiah 28:8 real quick. This is the prophets that the Most High is sending, man. Not no prophets that's going to pass the collection plate 5 or 10 times around, but when you go to the pulpit and ask for donations to keep your house from getting taken away, they refuse to give, the church refuses to give you any money, and they laugh and mock at you, man. This is the prophets that the Most High is sending in these days. Read
Jeremiah 28:8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old.
That's right, the prophets that was even before Jeremiah, who was writing these scriptures right here, was saying that the prophets before me of old did what?
Prophesied both against many countries.
That's right, against many countries, okay?
And against great kingdoms,
okay?
Of war,
all right?
And of evil,
okay?
And of pestilence.
That's right, a prophet prophesies war, evil, which means bad, and pestilence, which means diseases. That's what we're set up to do, to warn you people what hell is going to come upon this earth. And it's going to be unrelenting. The scriptures, I think it's in Isaiah 65. Try verse 12. Because this is what's going to happen when the Lord returns on his chariot, his fathership, which is what the world so intimately calls a UFO. If you didn't listen or forbear to the prophets that was speaking of war, evil, and pestilence, and you don't get that mark, which is the name of the Father and the name of the Son, and your identity, which is in the scriptures, this is what the Lord said you're going to do. Read.
Isaiah 65:12. Therefore will I number you to the sword.
That's right, you say he's going to number you to the sword. Keep going.
And ye shall all bow down to the slaughter.
That's right, you're all going to bow down to the slaughter in the day of the Lord, the wrath of the Lamb. Keep going.
Because when I called, ye did not answer.
And how is he calling? He's using his prophets to talk to you people, man. Give me Proverbs 1 and 20. And then give me Proverbs 8 and 4. The Most High is sending his prophets. That's the reason why there was a camp in San Francisco, a camp in Seattle, a camp in Alaska, a camp in LA, a camp in San Diego, a camp in Arizona, Las Vegas, Denver, Texas, Georgia, all throughout the South, Detroit, Chicago, New York, Boston, London, Holland, Jamaica, Trinidad, Mexico. There's probably camps in Brazil and South America. There's people in Africa waking up to their true identity.
That's right.
There's people in Japan waking up. There's people in China. All across the world, there's camps set up by the Spirit of the Most High to prophesy and warn you people of these days that we're living in right now.
That's right.
Not the days that's going to come, but the days we're living in right now.
The last days.
You know?
Proverbs 1 and 20. Wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets.
That's right. We in the streets right now, are we not? Basically. Keep going.
She crieth in the chief place of concourse.
Isn't this one of the chief places of concourse that the so-called Israelites, not so-called, but the Israelites in Fresno go to? You don't really go to the fashion fair. You don't go to Sierra Vista because that's not your mall of destination, man. The city designated this mall, Fulton Mall, and Manchester Mall, as one of the chief concourses in Fresno, man.
She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates.
That's right, bro.
In the city she uttereth her words, saying, How long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity?
That's right. We're saying to you, how long are you going to love simplicity until you realize you're living in the last days, the day of destruction, and that you need to turn back to your Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahweh, and turn back to his Son, the Lord, the Lamb, whose name is Yahweh Shai, according to the Hebrew, the Lashawan Kadah.